So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about exponents. With exponents, you're going to see two numbers normally. You could see more depending, but you're going to see a big number right here. You're going to see a small number raised to the top right-hand corner of the number. There's two different names for these. First off, the large number, the big number here, we're going to call that is the base number, just B-A-S-E. All right, so the large number there, the 2, that's my base number. And then the small number raised to it, right there, that guy is, let's get a better arrow there, that guy is actually my exponent. All right, so the way I read this is 2 to the 4th power. All right, 2 to the 4th power. And what that means is, what exponents do, it's saying, take the base number and multiply it by itself however many times the exponent says. So this means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and I'll write that out for us. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right, and we get that. A big misconception, many students make this mistake, is they just say, oh, well, 2 to the 4th power, it's 2 times 4, and it's 8. However, it's not. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and we'll see that. 2 times 2 right here, that's 4. And 4 times 2, I'll just write the rest here, times 2 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8, and then I still have this other times 2, which ends up giving me 16 right there. So 2 to the 4th power is not 8, like a lot of students might say, because you just do 2 times 4. It's actually 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which ends up giving me 16. Now, I said before, this doesn't have to be a one-digit number. I mean, it could be, a 5-digit number. We could do 500, maybe let's say a 2-digit number, 51. It could be 51 to the 4th power, and so on. They just need to remember that it's repeated multiplication here. We do have two numbers that, when it is an exponent, it has a different name. Just like we said, this is 2 to the 4th power. We say, let's say we'll pick 4 as my base number. Let's say we have 4 to the 2nd power. All right, we don't typically say this 4 to the 2nd power, even though technically it is. We say it's 4 squared, all right, because a square is side times side. All right, there's two numbers that are multiplied. So we say this is 4 squared, and that equals 16 because it's 4 times 4. All right, 4 times 4 is 16. And then the only other one, let's pick we'll take a 5. All right, we'll say 5 to the 3rd power. While I could say 5 to the 3rd power, we also could say 5 cubed. All right, because a cube would be 3 dimensions, and it's actually side times side times side. So that's where we get the cubed from. And 5 cubed, like I said, is 5 times 5 times 5, which equals 125. All right, so we covered our base, our exponent. Some special ones, again, I'll write that in red here. When it's to the 2nd power, it is squared. All right. When it's to the 3rd power, it is cubed. And that's what we have right there. All right, so we have our exponent, our base, we have squared, we have cubed. Now there is 2 other ones I kind of want to go over. They don't really have names per se, special names, but let's go to 3 as my base to the 1st power. 3 to the 1st power. All right, well, 3 to the 1st power just means, how many 3's are there? 1. So 3 to the 1st power is just 3. Any number that we talk about is 3, or is just to the 1st power as it is. This 125 right now, technically it's 125 to the 1st power. The only other one I wanted to talk about, and it's kind of a weird one, we're going to go back to my 2 example, is 2 to the 0 power. All right, well, 2 to the 0 power is actually going to be 1. And anything to the 0 power is 1. And to show you kind of how we get that, I'm going to start off with my 2 to the 4th power again. I'm going to kind of work my way up. 2 to the 4th power there. 2 to the 4th power we said was 2 times 2 times 2, which is 2 times 2, which is 16. All right. I'm going to take 2 to the 3rd power. I'm just going to take 1 off my exponent, which is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2, which is 8. All right. And then we're going to do 2 squared. All right, this was 2 cubed, 2 squared, which ends up giving me 4. And then 2 to the 1st power gives me 2. All right. And the way I like to explain this to my kids is because I'll usually post this on the board and say, okay, what is 2 to the 0 power? And I'll let them get a bunch of guesses. I'll finally just put it's equal to 1. And of course, they all don't know. So I'll just write this all up there and I'll ask, what do you notice? And hopefully they can see that working backwards here, each time we're dividing by 2. All right. Just as I multiplied by 2 one more up here, I'm now dividing by 2 to get me one smaller. All right, I divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then, well, if I'm following this trend, 2 divided by 2 is 1. All right. And actually, something we don't go into this year, you can get a negative exponent. So 2 to the negative 1 is actually going to be 1/2, or 1 divided by 2. Okay. So this is just a special thing. Any number to the 0 power is always going to be 1. I could do this with 18 or 28 or whatever, and then I would just divide by that every time. So hopefully this lesson about exponents was helpful. The big thing, base, exponent, I am multiplying by itself. I am not multiplying these two together. Then we say squared over here and cubed for the 3.